Good early morning, everybody. It's June 24, 2025. And yes, it is a new moon. It's the dark of the moon, meaning when you look outside, you don't see the moon because it's dark, which means that all the creatures are hiding in the dark also. It means that the animals are more quiet in the evening. And then what happens when it increases in light and it turns into a crescent, then the activity acts up outside. But the reason I'm doing this video is I just received an email, and this is a subscriber who frequently sends me messages and stuff and says, whatever I send you, you can read on your channel. I mean, some of it I really can't if it has to do with, what happened a couple of years ago, with the masks and all that stuff. But this one I'm going to read, minus his name. I'm going to read it through and then I'm going to comment on it because I have a lot of things to say about it. Particularly about Mikayla from Saveafox, who passed away a couple of days ago. I'm going to have to think about this a little bit more. I don't really think she took her life. And I know that that's what her husband said. I know that that's the way it appeared, but I also know what these criminals do. It's plausible deniability. They want to make it appear as if she took her life. Just the way everybody, you hear about all these people out there. Like my friend Kim Straub, who sent me an email that she would never take her own life and that if anything ever happened to her, that it was the Freemasons. That's exactly what she said in writing. She said, I'm a Christian woman, I would never take my life. Well, guess what? That's what the narrative was when she passed away, that she took her own life. I don't believe it for a minute. And I'm not so sure that I believe that Mikayla took her own life. I'm ruminating on it, that it could have been an accident, that, they travel a lot, which means that their residence is open to the criminals. And if I could have criminals coming and going from my house just because I'm on the other side of my property, you think that nobody's ever gotten into her house when she's been out of town? Maybe they've tampered with things inside. We don't know. And I'm speculating. I'm just putting it out there. And this is a concern for this situation because she was such a light, such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful woman who only wanted to save animals. And of course people were jealous because she did it so well, because she loved what she did. She loved what she did for them, and you could see it on all of the animals' faces. These are wild animals that she was taming. And there were very envious and jealous people out there. And of course, these Luciferian Satanists, they hate animals. They hate joy. They would look at her and they probably with contempt because they're such sick people. And they wouldn't be saying this if it didn't happen on the solstice. And I know what these criminals do. These Luciferian Satanists, they like to perform their rituals and their sacrifices on these days. Oh, it makes them feel better. They think they get elevated. They think they get higher up on their ridiculous ladder. So I went over to her channel earlier and I left a message. I've been just, leaving messages on all of her videos and clicking on them, the ones that I didn't view and whatever. And the weird thing is, within the last couple of weeks I was watching one of her videos and it occurred to me. I just looked at it and I thought to myself, I don't know why this came over me. I said, if anything ever happens to that woman, those animals will be devastated. I mean, who thinks that? I did a couple of weeks ago. And then I saw this morning. So I left a comment in response to her rescuing the bobcat. I said, you know, I'm not so sure about what happens to her. I said it might have been an accident. Or somebody may have tampered. This occurred to me today. Somebody may have tampered with her medication to make it appear as if she took her own life. Well, I had 3 of her cyberstalkers attack me. You know who they are, because when I responded, one of them deleted my comment. This is not her husband doing it. These are her cyberstalkers. They want a certain narrative going around there. They want everybody to believe that she took her own life. But I'm going to say, I'm a parent. She was a parent. She had a husband. And yes, she had these issues and she'd go through depression. Her depression appeared to be about not being able to save all of those animals, all the ones that she wanted to. Like, she wanted to save them all. And she couldn't, and it was depressing for her. I'm not going to believe that she took her own life. I mean, she could have. But something inside of me is saying that she didn't. That would mean leaving her husband, leaving her daughter, leaving all of those animals that she rescued. All of the ones that are on the way to be rescued. She would do that? I don't think so. And also, what they've done to her, to them, they've done to me, my cat rescue. So back in New Jersey, they hacked my website. It was never the same. And Mikayla, Saveafox, their website, their Facebook, not Facebook, their website and YouTube channel were hacked about a year ago. I remember signing on and seeing this weird message like it was Elon Musk or something. And then her husband got on, I guess it was a day later, and explained what had happened. And it's like, oh, you know, that's interesting that their page was hacked. Somebody didn't like them being around. Well, that's happened to me more than once. I still don't have an operable website because it's too damn expensive to hire somebody. I got a quote of $5,100 to redo my website. I'm not going to pay $5,100. If I had the free time, I would do it myself. But the point is that this woman was targeted just like us, maybe a little differently, because she's such a public person. They had to do things a little differently. So they hacked her page, her website, her channel. Cyberstalkers all around, even in her passing. They are loading up on her channel. They're everywhere. I started clicking on profiles and it's like, oh my God. Well, I'm in my 60s. I'm not in my 30s like her, and I have a different perspective and a different way of handling these things. If I were half my age, I'd probably be freaking out too. But in her passing, they're all over her site. They want a narrative to go through that, oh yeah, this guy responds to me, didn't you hear what her husband said? What, are you sitting on the toilet? I kid you not, that's what the person said. And then what I did was, because I reported these people, of course they come back, you know. So I ended up deleting my comment. When you delete your comment, you delete all of the responses to that comment. But I saved the names of her cyberstalkers. and made sure to block them on my channel. So the email that I received was, the heading is Fox Lady. Sadness overwhelming for her husband, daughter, and those foxes she had a personal bond with. Criminals exploited her weakness, attempting to do her in, most likely celebrating her passing. Oh, yes, they are. They're doing the little witch happy dance. She was their sacrifice. That's right. And they want to make it appear as if she did it all by herself. I'm not buying it for a minute. He goes on to say, they've tried to flip my switch. I'm now so beyond that point of no return. This may or may not have anything to do with the situation at hand, but years back, I spoke to MJ's guitarist. MJ, you know, he sang that song Beat It and Billie Jean, and you know, he just wanted to say MJ. So I'm going to say MJ. You know, the king of pop. So he says, years back I spoke to MJ's guitarist. She said MJ was set up with all those slanderous rumors. He had crossed some Hollywood big shot, taken out of a music contract costing the narcissists millions. They had it out to destroy MJ. Oh, I know that for a fact. I can't even say the name of the person. You know, one of them was married to Mariah Carey. How do I know? You know, I think I mentioned that I was involved with a bunch of celebrities years ago. And, you know, they speak about what's going on in the music industry. And that was one of a huge thing. Michael Jackson actually spoke out at the end of one of his concerts. And, you know, he's such a sweet guy, just like Mikayla, so sweet and so quiet and charming. And, you know, everybody thinks that when you're sweet and quiet and charming like that, that you're a pushover, that you're an idiot, that you're not that bright. Well, Michael Jackson, MJ, he was smarter than they anticipated. He was so smart that he was able to get out of a contract. And it did cost them millions of dollars. And he pretty much called them out. And they didn't like it. So they set out to destroy him. And what do narcissists do? They use the character assassination, the slander campaign. They'll lie everywhere. And what do? They know everything about you. So MJ, what did he have? He had Neverland, you know, that he built because he lost his childhood. He was a child star. He had no time for play, no time for regular school, no time for hanging out with friends. So as an adult, he wanted to live that was stolen from him. And invited children there. And so what better slander campaign than to use that against him? And it literally destroyed him. The letter goes on to say, guitarist I work with asked me, what's all the news about MJ? What did he do exactly? He was accused of this and that. I was told it was character assassination. He said, when you really try to do something truly good, that is when the devil shows up. starting to believe in that statement more and more. The world has become consumed with evildoers. They search out the few moral ones left who are trying to make this a better place. With their sole intent is to punish, disrupt, derail, then destroy that person for doing good. And I wholeheartedly agree. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, you know who else? They did it to Prince, too. They did it to Prince. They did it to Robin Williams. Everybody thinks that he just became ill just like that. No. No, 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 no. No, it was done to him. You know, these criminals, they have all different kinds of methods to destroy people. The good ones, the moral ones, the truthful ones. They're evil, just so evil. And I am so upset over the passing of this woman. And a subscriber said, oh, she named her daughter after your cat rescue. I said, well, no, actually, she didn't name her daughter after my cat rescue. Her daughter's name is Freya. My cat rescue is Freya's cat rescue that I've had for a dozen years. Obviously, her daughter's not a dozen years old. But Freya is a goddess. She flew through the air in a chariot with 2 gray cats. And it became a very popular name for these indigo Gen Z people. They started naming their children Freya. So she named her little daughter Freya. And if you listen to the names that she's named her foxes, I mean, it's really interesting. She's a very creative woman. I'm absolutely heartbroken that she's gone. I don't even know what's going to happen. I mean, the grief that her husband and her daughter is going to be feeling over time, and those animals. And a subscriber mentioned, she says, did you notice, like, the last few days, the last couple of days, the fox den cam, you wouldn't see any foxes. She said, I think they already knew that she was gone. And that's very astute. And ironically, I was clicking on her videos and just going through them really quickly, not even paying attention to it. I clicked on the den, and there were no foxes. I did not see any foxes, and I clicked it off. And then when you start threading this information together, and then there were times I would be watching her videos, and then all of a sudden there would be this loud traffic in the background, out of nowhere. And she may have been experiencing a lot of what we experience. But because she has a husband and she's got people around her all the time, traveling a lot, it may have been very different experience for her. But as her husband mentioned, that even the people closest to her, close friends, were starting to talk about her. And that's what this program is about. Co-opting all the people in your life. And there are way too many envious and jealous people out there. And there are people jealous of MJ. There were people jealous of Prince, Robin Williams. Oh, the list is endless. There's so many. So many in the music industry. Janis Joplin. All of, what, the 27 Club they're called? Because they all passed away at age 27. You want to know why? Because of Saturn, Satan. It's a Saturn cycle. And that's why a lot of times when people have arranged marriages, they always do it before the age of 28. Because once you get past the age of 28, you're no longer tied to your familial constructs. Your family cannot influence you as much past 28 years old and on, once you get through this Saturn cycle. So yes, you could look it up, search for the 27 Club, and you'll see how many musicians and actors, actresses just passed away. You know, of course, the plausible deniability. Oh yeah, this one OD'd, this one did that. When you really realize what's going on, you'll see that it is too much of a coincidence, and there are no accidents. So anyway, yes, it is very sad and overwhelming for her husband, her daughter, and all of those foxes. I can't even imagine. She's got that one fox, Finnegan Fox. He's one of the older foxes there. These animals were rescued by her. They formed a bond with her. These were wild animals. They felt a bond with her. On Halloween, on Christmas, she would dress them up, bring them treats, prepare treats for them. People would send, her subscribers would send toys, and she would videotape handing out toys to her foxes. There's nobody like her. And that will definitely be missed on her channel. Aside from the fact that she is beautiful. She is so sweet. Those animals love her. Her voice, she talks to them as if she's speaking fox with a high pitch. That's not something her husband's going to be able to do. So her channel will completely change. But I hope that people continue to donate money, because all those foxes now need care. She contracted with fur farms to rescue the rest of those foxes. I guess it's called, like, she bought them out. So please continue to watch her videos and share her videos and share this. I hope that there is some kind of an investigation. It's just not sitting well with me, given the timing of it all. There's something not right. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. Leave a comment down below. And yes, Michael Jackson was character assassinated. You all know what they accused him of. They accused him of the very thing that they do. The very things that they are, they accused him of, because he donated all this money and stuff to children. So they used it against him. Used it against him. Just like the local sheriff here who falsifies an incident report. I report my cat rescue building being broken into on May Day, the High Witch holiday, harming all of my kittens' eyes, resulting in 3 deaths of kittens. And instead of accurately reporting that happened, they falsified the incident report and said, call the state trooper, who calls me and says, oh, I hear you lost a cat. No, I didn't lose a cat. And they completely lied. And then when I reported to the Attorney General, Consumer Affairs, a landscaper, somebody hacked my report, hacked my complaint. And even though the whole body of it describes the landscaping and what happened and no shows and all this stuff, they wrote Freya's Cat Rescue as the name of the business that was being reported. This is how evil these people are. And I will tell you for a fact that some of the larger rescue people, the larger sanctuaries, the ones that get $1 million in donations and grants from the government, are involved in stalking, are involved in the slander campaign, are involved in taking people down just like this woman. They're absolutely involved. Because they are so friggin' greedy, and they don't care about the animals at all. Zero. And I wish I could tell you who they are. I just wish I could tell you who they are. But I can't. Because they're so litigious. They go after even their own people that donate stuff to them. That's how evil they are. But anyway, I'm going to sign off on that note. And it is with overwhelming sadness that this woman is no longer with us. And these criminals, these cyberstalkers that are on her channel right now, discrediting or wanting a certain narrative, I will make sure that I get every one of them when I get on there. And these are the people still stalking her channel that she's gone. It blows me away. And as targeted people, if you go over to her channel and you start reading the comments, you'll find them immediately. They're there. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope everybody's having a good evening, early morning. And I'll talk to you guys soon.